Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dizer. I'm here with my Dami Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Layne. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good. Today we're talking about a great topic. I'm excited about this one.
Me too.
I get a ton of questions about this. So
Me too.
But I mean, you brought it up. You mentioned it yesterday on the show. Yeah,
because I found it shocking when I dove into this topic. I think it's crazy that there's not more education out there about it. I have to say, like, going through the whole process of pregnancy, giving birth, and then raising, a child to this point, it's amazing how, for women, there isn't a lot of, I feel like there should be, a booklet handed to women as soon as you become pregnant, and it shouldn't just be about, going online and it might make you feel good to buy a necklace if you're gaining weight. If I read that one more time, I think there should be a book that is given to you or that you can purchase that literally has, all the scientific real things that's going on with your body during pregnancy, during labor, after recovery, and during the process of, breastfeeding and healing.
The fact that there isn't shows a lack of respect for women.
Yeah, in two different ways.
We got a DVD. I want to hear you two different ways, but we got the DVD, and the premise of the DVD was don't shake your baby.
That's all it was. Just the nurse said, because the nurse called after a week and said, "Did you watch the DVD?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, I'm just going to give you the synopsis." And she's very serious. And I said, "Okay." And she's like, "Just don't shake your baby." And it made me burst out laughing.
Oh my gosh.
It's not about, recovery and hormonally what's going on with you or physically what's going emotionally. It's two different ways of disrespect for women that I find. It's one that, we're not respecting the gravity of the process. When I heard someone say, you get 6 months off when you, have an Achilles surgery. And then when you give birth, they say, oh, hey, you'll be healed in 6 weeks. You can just get back on the horse.
Well, now in Canada, you're home the next day. I mean, it's...
But it's not that. I mean, I'd rather be at home healing. That's fine. I'm fine with that revolving situation. But the fact that they're even putting you should be recovered in 6 weeks in any capacity on after what your body's gone through.
Oh, definitely.
Is insane. So I find it a lack of respect from the angle of respecting the gravity of the physical, emotional, mental, and then spiritual nature of what being pregnant, giving birth, and then having a child is. I think it should be just this. I think that everybody should clamor together and just respect any woman that's going through all that. And I think that the education should be there on all levels. But also I find it disrespectful in the way that I find a lot of the information's hidden because they feel women can't handle it. And I find that even more insulting. Because I feel like this thing that I found out about prolactin that I feel like is a secret, I think, honestly, it's because there's such a movement, because we have found out that, breastfeeding is best, and the caveat is there, if you can do it. If
Definitely.
You can't, feeding your baby, period, is best. But breastfeeding is the healthiest option for your child, so I feel like they've only pushed positive information about it. But the reality is, obviously giving birth was extremely painful and all that stuff, but I feel my breastfeeding journey was emotionally more painful, at times physically more painful, and more drawn out. I've had it's been a real roller coaster of emotions. And then to find out that, there's actual hormonal things going on that is almost covered up, I find that insulting on that other level, because I feel like us women can be just talked to like normal humans.
It's like you said yesterday, though. It's because the knowledge isn't out there.
No, it's really not.
And even in the conventional community, it's not really out there to the extent where it needs to be. And the reason is that the information has not really been discovered yet about why these things are happening.
You know what makes me mad, though?
What?
How many different medications do we have for erectile dysfunction?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't want to get on the train and everyone will be like, oh, Amy, calm down, like, feminist, whatever. But honestly, women, we have to look at this stuff. Like, it's insane. Like, there should be more money pushed towards, like, female stuff shouldn't still be a mystery. Like, it's crazy.
Well, and the money for a lot of things is there.
Yeah.
But results are suppressed, and when things are actually beneficial, it's suppressed. Even in the natural
community. Well, a lot of it, it's not ways to make money, so no one really cares. But it's ways that we could understand our bodies more and respect our journeys. And one of the big things here with this information that we're going to share is that you could be more patient with yourself, so you wouldn't be upset with yourself, so you're not beating yourself up. You understand that there's a process here going on, and that you just do your best, and then eventually when it's your time again, things will resolve. So the big thing that we're talking about today first is a lot of women are breastfeeding, and you get the information that we're burning 500 extra more calories at least. So you're like, yes, I'm going to be dropping weight like a crazy person. And your neighbor, when she's looking amazing and she has a tight little waist after having a baby, and you say, what did you do? And she says, oh, I just, run after my toddler and breastfeed. And that's how I lost the weight. And then you're looking at yourself and you're like, wait a second, I'm eating extremely healthy. I'm exercising or not exercising, whatever, but things aren't moving. Things aren't happening. I'm breastfeeding. I'm doing all the things my neighbor's doing, and I've got that 10 pounds still here. What's going on? Well, the big secret is the hormone that you can explain it better.
So prolactin is a hormone that's secreted when you're breastfeeding. It goes high and it stays high throughout. So
if it isn't high, your milk supply will go low. So if you are having problems with low milk supply, you might want to listen to our other episode, because I had a hard time getting my milk supply. Didn't come in for like 6 weeks, so I had to go on a supplement journey to bring my prolactin.
Yeah, we did a herbal approach.
And it worked. And I'm still feeding, true today.
Oh my gosh, and more than ever. And the best part about the herbal approach is you don't have to do it forever.
No, like, you get your supply up, and then it's supply and demand, like nature takes over.
Anyway, how it's supposed to work.
Exactly.
So having high prolactin, it has been shown to suppress fat metabolism.
Boom. So you're maybe burning more calories in that your body's working harder to produce milk and whatnot, but then this sneaky little hormone's in there, and it's not letting you burn the fat.
We talk about going into storage mode. Well, if you look at the research, if you look at the journal articles, this is fat storage. Prolactin is there to make you hold on to fat. And what happens is, what they know is that a protein called adiponectin is lowered. It's really, really low. And it plays a major role in the actual metabolism of fat. They've done it has a super short half-life, so you can't really supplement it. So they've done some mouse studies, and it's super effective for losing weight, I guess. But you can't take it, and no one's been able to formulate it because it doesn't last very long in the body. Anyhow, it's really, really low when your prolactin's high, and fat metabolism goes down. So other things happen. So energy metabolism, inflammation is increased, and cell proliferation is reduced. So interesting.
So what this can cause is that infamous last 10 pounds to stay on until, you're done breastfeeding and things normalize again. So what are we learning from this? The big takeaway for me and for my clients and for my community that I want everyone to understand is that it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, and it took me a long time to surrender to, probably 3 months into being a mother, that this journey is about surrendering. And right now, if you're one of these people that has those extra pounds hanging on because you've decided to breastfeed, and you can breastfeed, and you're doing an amazing sacrifice for your child that is giving them this amazing head start to life, don't beat yourself up. The wonderful news is that this doesn't go on forever. you know, your hormones balance back out once you're done breastfeeding. And also don't rush to finish breastfeeding. Because the other thing to have in perspective is these babies are babies for a season. And I use the word season because already it goes so fast. And the days are long, but the weeks and months are so short and so precious. You know, there's some days where I'm just bawling my eyes out and I'm just like, I don't want to breastfeed anymore. You know, breastfeeding...
It's too much.
It's too much. Like, I'm the only... She won't take a bottle. I'm the only one who can ever take care of her. You know, sometimes my nipples are sore. Like, some days it feels like that's all she's doing is breastfeeding.
And biting.
And now biting with teeth, and, like, that's a whole thing.
Oh, God.
Like, you know, but then, you know, at the end of the day, I'm putting her to bed, and I'm looking at her, and I'm just like, I wasn't able to breastfeed, and then I was, and it's such a gift, and some people can't, and it's so hard. You feel like such a failure, and you go through this emotional thing when you can't breastfeed, and how could I ever begrudge that? You know, and people beat themselves up about not being able to breastfeed and whatever, and the fact that I was able to, all I should be is grateful, right? So it's one of those things, and you know, that's part of being a woman. It's constant sacrifice, and it's not murder sacrifice. It's like we are like mothers of the world sacrifice. It's like an honor. It's right. A badge. Like, we're warriors. So it's not like a murder, like, oh, I sacrifice and everyone... No. It's like...
I'm great. Look at me.
It's not that type of... It's a deep sacrifice. Like, we are deeply powerful beings.
Oh my gosh, you're in the grind.
We're in it. And it, like, you know, I was reading this thing by Marianne Williamson the other day, and it was talking about how we made this swing around that just being a mom isn't enough anymore, and how insane that is. Because the greatest job in the world, if you raise a decent human being, that's it. Like, you are on the, like, boots on the ground making the world a better place. There's literally no bigger honor. Now, if on top of that you want to be a professional as well, like, good on you.
Definitely.
But it's not like you're better because you choose that. No. It's all equal. It's all great work. And if you're doing whatever you're doing, if you're doing it great and doing it with deep, and I don't mean sacrifice in the martyrdom. I mean sacrifice in the way of, like, letting go of the small to do the large. I mean, you're just you're a powerful being. Anyway,
definitely.
I'm on a kick now, but
see, I'm in a daze just listening to you.
Yeah. It's just such a journey.
No, I know.
And like the mundane...
I feel it from you.
But the mundane daily grind of it, like, I don't want to act like I'm walking around with, like, a flower crown on, like, bathing in waterfalls. Because, like, I'm having real... Like, this morning I cried.
Yeah.
Because I was just like... You know, True's going through this thing. She won't lay down by herself for a nap, so I have to lay down beside her, and I've got hundreds of emails in my email box, and I've got... You know, I feel like my career's slipping, and I've got all these projects that I've got lined up that I want to do, and, you know, I'm not able to do my workout, and I'm the one coaching people to do their workouts, and, like, all the things piled onto me. But then I, you know, have
to reset. And 9 months has gone by, and where did it go?
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
I look at her, and I'm like, how is this even possible? So it's just one of those things. So then you have to recalibrate, you refocus, and you're like, okay, this is what I can take care of.
And this is the thing. You need to eat healthy.
Yeah.
And if you can exercise or move your body, I mean...
And that's the other thing I want to stress on. Just because this is happening doesn't mean you eat cake. Like,
and we're not talking about 50 pounds either.
No. If you have 50 pounds, then that's a whole other thing, and we can work on that.
Yes.
Let's talk. We can get that down.
That's something you can do while you breastfeed.
I'm talking about 10 to 15, or even lower. Some women it's 5 to 3 pounds, but it looks like when I'm carrying 5 pounds heavier or more, it looks like 12 to 15 on me. Like, you know what I mean? So we're talking about
a certain percentage of body fat. Yeah.
We're not talking about if it, like, no shame if you did gain.
Totally.
Like, pregnancy's a...
Oh, yeah.
So,
whatever happens.
But the fact is we can get that off no matter what hormonal situation's going on.
Yes.
But... You know, even if now we acknowledge this prolactin, we acknowledge, say, you are carrying the 10...
Yeah, and you're not going to want to detox prolactin quicker.
No.
Because you need to breastfeed
That's
still.
Right.
So it's an acknowledgement of, okay,
this is happening, but I'm still going to eat super healthy. I'm going to exercise while I can, and, you know, drink my water constantly, do all those things. And then when you stop breastfeeding, you'll see that weight slip off. Yeah. You know, it'll come. But you still have to commit to
There's other things going on.
Yeah.
If you're trying to reach your goal and you can't, there's another glaring thing happening. for new moms, and it's usually related to lack of sleep.
Yeah, so that's number 2. The other big thing is, the reality is, if you're not sleeping, which I do in the park circuit, that's what I do.
Totally. So what's the word on the park circuit?
The word on the park circuit is, no babies are sleeping. And if you have a sleeping baby, first of all, pretend you don't, because we're all mad. No, good on you. That's amazing. But, a lot of us are dealing with babies that are still not sleeping. And if you're having broken sleep, you're not going to be able to... The likelihood of you being able to burn that extra 10 pounds, and again, it's not the 50, it's not the whatever, but that last 10, it's very low.
Oh, going to be super low.
There's 2 main reasons for that.
What are your 2 main reasons?
Mine, and then you can talk about...
You go for it.
2 main reasons. I noticed, and I know it is scientific truth, that when you sleep, that's when your body is rejuvenating, it's burning fat, it's building your lean muscle, it's doing all the hard work. Mm-hmm. So if you're not sleeping and doing the recovery, then your body's not doing that. No. So you're not getting any of those benefits. And the number 2 thing is, when you have lack of sleep, I know for me, and I know for a lot of people, your body, you wake up and you're like, okay, I need something to rev my engines, I need something, and you're going to start craving simple carbs, sugar, crap.
Definitely. It's
you're in fight or flight.
It happens
constantly.
And this happens to people who are awake because of a baby as well. If you're not getting solid sleeps, if you're not getting into a deep sleep, you're probably going to wake up and think, oh my gosh, I need something, and it's usually in the form of carbs.
And the reason for that is you're actually in fight or flight. And humans when back in the day, fight or flight meant starvation's coming, and your body would say, hang on to resources, load up on quick to grab foods, do those things, winter's coming, right? Bad is coming. So you naturally, that's why a lot of us in stress pack it on. Some people, it comes off, but that's a different...
Yeah, they're different metabolizers.
Yeah.
We see that. The other main thing that's happening here, so you wake up, you're craving some high-calorie something. The other thing that's happening is we know that people who don't sleep well have higher ghrelin when they wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
ghrelin is the appetite hormone. Yeah. So ghrelin makes you go for food.
Yeah.
So when you're not sleeping, we know people who have insomnia have higher levels of ghrelin. They are hungry. They're hungry, and they eat more during the day. They have lower leptin, which is the hormone that tells you you're full. But also, if we tie it back to the prolactin case, we know that when prolactin's high and adiponectin's no, adiponectin would actually be an anti-inflammatory protein. So now you don't have very much of that. So all of a sudden you've got this inflammation, which is blocking your appetite hormones, telling you don't need to eat a ton. So not only are you starving, but you're craving carbs, and you're inflamed if you're not sleeping. Yeah, this is... I know it's sounding complicated. It sounds like a lot of things. It's not that serious.
No. And
it will eventually end.
Yeah, and it ends. And then it's a season. And I'm just having this thought in my head, and I just thought to myself, just listening to you and then pulling out for a second and thinking of human history, and thought, none of this would be an issue, like, say, in the 1800s. Because nobody was trying to get in a bikini and be like, look at me with my 6-month-old baby. That wasn't a thing.
No, they were trying to gain.
Right. So, we have to sometimes pull away and look at how ridiculous our society is and the pressures on ourselves is. And acknowledge, tip our hats to our own selves being insane. Like, I'm insane.
Definitely.
Like, I had a vision that, I'd pop my baby out, and 8 weeks later, I'd be in a bikini, and all would be right with the world. Why wouldn't it? I worked hard. I eat cleaner than anyone I know. I will do whatever it takes to get to wherever I have to be.
And she is serious when she says that.
I'm not kidding. I will do whatever it takes to be whatever. But, it's so insane.
No, and my favorite new example of this is in Canada here this week. It's the Canada 150. We've got this anniversary coming up of 150 years of Canada, and there's a sign in Nova Scotia at a coffee shop, and it says Canada 150 years, Micmac 13,000 years, which is one of our native communities, and they've been here for so long.
It's like you guys are so
Who cares
stupid.
about 150 years? That's nothing. They've been here for so many years. That's a huge celebration. I mean, so if you step out of anything...
You have to pull it into perspective. So, like, these might sound like, oh, these things are working against us. No, these things are working for us. Mm-hmm. It's our modern society that has put these unrealistic expectations that now we're trying to manipulate our hormones into doing different things that are actually for us and our babies so that we can squeeze into modern society, molds faster so that we can all get on Instagram in our tight little dresses and be like, I had a baby. Like, it's insane. And no shade, because I'm that person too. Like,
totally.
Like, I totally, like, I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta get that perfect Instagram shot. Oh my god.
Gotta. Now my Instagram is just all babies. And
all babies.
And, like, people,
adorable baby, though.
I think she's adorable. People are, like, lose it. Like, they leave my Instagram all the time. So it's like, where's the fitness and health? And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Whatever. Look at my baby.
Look at my baby.
But anyway, I really want, if you're a woman listening, I really want you to just put it into perspective. It's the same way when I read the No Cry Sleep Solution. And one really intelligent portion of that about baby sleeping that I read and that I really did enjoy was that she said, back in the day, this wasn't an issue because this was your full-time job.
Right.
There wasn't, you didn't have to be, not only a professional, but also have like a creative side gig, plus a social media presence, plus be like a social planner, plus be like part-time supermodel, best wife, like keeping your man, like keeping your house clean, like organizing parties. Like, you didn't have to be any of that.
No.
Like, you were taking care of your baby for as long as your baby needed you.
I feel like I just took a road trip of your brain.
That was my
along
rant.
that little rant.
Yeah. So, like, waking up multiple times a night with a baby wouldn't be a big ordeal because that's all, like, just having the peace and calm, if that was your only job, quote-unquote job.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be it. So,
plus, it was super dark.
I know, circadian rhythms were on point.
Super dark at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway.
So it was a big difference.
So, these aren't damning things. These are for us. So it's not like, oh, these are against us. They're for us. Mm-hmm. We've changed what we think modern women should be, and it's, of course, insane and too much pressure. That's okay, too. We're not damned. We're all good. Mm-hmm. And we can also want to be those things. We can want to look sexy on Instagram, plus be an incredible mother and breastfeed. You can have it all. There's no shade in any of this. It's just, if you are that person, like many of us that have that few extra pounds hanging on, and while breastfeeding, or while your baby's just waking up, like, you could be definitely bottle feeding and going through the baby just waking up constantly and can't lose that last 10 pounds, then, like, it's all good. When this season is over and you start sleeping and, the breastfeeding season is over, you'll be back. You'll be better than ever. Definitely. Because now you're a mom. Like, you're a friggin' gladiator. You're a warrior. Like, I think about, like, just going through the process of pregnancy and birth and now what I've been through with this child. Like, nobody's going to stop me ever again from anything.
No. I remember when you were 9 months pregnant, hiking up the hill on it's called Cypress Street.
Yeah.
And you walked by these two women, and what did they say? What did they say? They just, like, yelled at the side of us.
She just goes, oh my god, she's, like, speed walking. Like,
she's speed walking. We're going straight up a hill, and she's 9 months pregnant. It's like there's two of you at the time.
That was huge.
And I just thought, like, what's the point? This is incredible. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Who am I? Well,
I think about the day that I had True. I was 41 weeks and 3 days pregnant, and I worked all day. I worked out. I lifted weights. Then we went to the grocery store, got groceries. Then we went for a 2-hour hike in the sun. Mm-hmm. And then I came home.
Which was silly when you look back on it. Why were we doing that?
I have no idea. I think we were trying to take our mind off it because I was so pregnant for so long. Mm-hmm. And then I came home and was like, I'm having some pains. Like, and it's just like...
Then we started timing the pains.
Like, God knows how long I was in labor.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like, all afternoon.
Anyway, it's all insane.
Oh yeah.
And that's every woman's, like, I'm not special, that's all of us. Like, no matter, nothing can stop us. Like, this is nothing.
There's some things that can be done here.
Yes, we should.
There's some things, so you can't do anything with the prolactin, and you shouldn't want to.
No.
I mean, it's ideal to have high prolactin. I see some cases, this is a separate topic, of prolactin that doesn't go down after you're done breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. If you're having trouble losing weight and you've already finished breastfeeding for longer than 3 to 6 months, have your prolactin checked. It's super inexpensive to look at, and if it's still high, that's something that we can address.
Yeah, and if you want that testing and want questions or information, email us about that as well.
Yeah, let us know. But what can be done about two things? Well, sleep, let's leave that for now, because obviously there's no point in stressing about it. If you're not sleeping, you're not sleeping. The
best advice I have about that is take the clock out of your room. Yeah. Someone told me, or I read that, or whatever, they said stop looking at the clock. It really released me.
That's been helpful? Oh, good.
It's like a lot less stressful, because just looking at the clock, knowing, oh my god, she's up again at this time, oh my god, she's up again.
Yeah, then you have a stress response. And then
it's a whole nother...
So, waking up, your body's going to be going for some energy source. First thing, you want to have a healthy breakfast, or something with some nutrient density right away, and then just get it into your digestive tract, and then you can make some choices after that that are probably more beneficial for your health. So, and then really stepping in and listening to your appetite hormones, and listening behind the initial flood of hormone, right? Because if you didn't sleep, you're going to get a big flood of ghrelin, and you're probably going to think, oh my gosh, I need this huge breakfast.
So I know a great way to do that. Smoothie first. Get something in there. It always, like, at first I fill up my 1 liter thing of water. I drink as much as I can of it, and then smoothie first, and it sets the whole day. And it sets my brain back onto, okay, I can do this, okay, whatever. And delaying coffee. Like, if you didn't listen to yesterday's episode, you should. Delaying coffee sounds crazy and counterintuitive, but it's not. And listen to that episode for
absolutely. And then if you go, if smoothie's not your jam, and you go initially for the conventional steel-cut oatmeal breakfast or something with a little bit of carbs, it should be the smaller portion should be the carb. Yeah. So, because I'm all about the oatmeal for breakfast for people who don't like the smoothie, and it's super satisfying and can hold you over and help balance these hunger hormones. But it should only be a half a cup cooked.
100%.
And if it's
smaller if you're smaller.
Definitely. And if it's a half a cup cooked, then you'll notice that the rest of the bowl is fruits and maybe a little bit of healthy fat in there if you're breastfeeding. Vegetables, you would do for breakfast.
I always do vegetables for breakfast.
So if you look at the bowl, most of it is not oatmeal. So it's starting to look a lot like a smoothie, but you're still getting your oatmeal.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. So the message today, too, is these are the things. So now we know that. We can acknowledge it. But be kind to yourself out there, ladies. We have it hard.
You do.
We have it rough.
That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe on iTunes. Leave us a review.
I love a review.
Oh, reviews are great. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all the social medias.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamieHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Layne has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamieHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamieHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamieHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.